Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I'm just gonna get right into it. Tonight, well, we'll get to that. I guess some context is important. So growing up, I was part of a friend group where there were other members of that friend group that I would only ever see when that friend group got together. I hope that makes sense. I personally didn't love the friend group, and so I never really hung out with them a lot. It's not that I didn't like them, I would just get de-energized quickly because they're all loud and rageful, and they play rageful games. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, there were people that there that I really wanted to. They were the kinds of people where everybody liked them and wanted to be around them. I don't know how common that is, but I feel like everybody knows. Like they're just. I guess what I'm trying to say is they were popular, and they were a brother and a sister. I don't know if this is super important, but I had a huge crush on the sister, and we went on I think 1 or 2 dates. Actually, I think it was just one. I know it doesn't matter, but that's not. And that was like early on in our friendship. Like I've known them for at this point most of my life. Like I've lived more of my life with them being in it than with them being out of it. And the ironic thing, well, we'll get to that too. Sorry, I've tried to say this already so many times and it's not coming out. So I think I just have to plow through. So sorry if it takes a sec for me to get rolling here. But anyway, I would say when I was about 22, I had just been broken up with in a really like prize-winningly horrible, miserable way. And at that same time, this friend who was hosting this whole group had a birthday. I went to the party because me and him had been friends like since like elementary school, so he's been like a life friend. And at this party, those two, the brother and the sister, were there because they were his like they grew up together as well, him and the birthday boy. But they brought another friend, which is a symptom of a larger discussion about things that infuriate me. But they brought another friend who, yeah, and when we were there was drinking, and this friend that they brought, we'll call her, I don't know, Lucy. Lucy, yeah, we'll call her Lucy. I hope I remember that. Lucy got not passed out drunk. She got very drunk, because she has a thing with boys, and there was a boy there who's being very like, oh, I cannot drink. Anyway, that's not important. What matters is there was a part where she ended up on the front lawn, just laying down, looking up at the stars, trying to, not throw up. And I went out and talked with her. Although I guess actually I should mention. So the brother and the siblings had. I don't remember how I ended up here, but at some point they'd invited me over to come hang out with them, and their hangouts always entailed having 1,000. Their hangouts were parties, pretty much, because they had so many people that wanted to hang out with them all the time that the only way I think they could manage it was by doing like group things. Anyway, I went over to hang out. When I was there, Lucy was there, and that was the first time I ever met Lucy. She and I talked for a few hours with another man who's awesome. I don't know if it's appropriate to tag him in things, but he's an excellent filmmaker, and I think he has great things coming for him. Anyway, Lucy and this other guy and I talked about film for hours and interests and stuff, and to me, Lucy came off kind of eager for friends, and so I was not super into that, but I liked her and thought she was interesting when she was being passionate, which is one of the best words you could describe Lucy, when she was talking about something like, well, sorry, I heard something spooky in my house. When she was talking about things she was passionate about and like into, and she kind of forgot about everything else. Like she was really fascinating. So anyway, some time passed. I think probably around a year. I don't know, maybe less, maybe a little more. It was my friend's birthday. Me and Lucy had been talking a little bit throughout the party, and then she ended up on the front lawn on her back. I went out because that was my first time I'd ever seen someone drunk that like wasn't being held like responsible. Like growing up, I think I'd seen my uncles drunk a few times, but like they were with other adults that were kind of managing them. But with Lucy, she just went out by herself, and I was like, oh shit, like someone should do something about that. So I had no plan. I just went to sit, and I just sat down next to her and we just talked. I wasn't trying to be romantic. I want to note, through everything I'm saying, at no point ever was my intention to be romantic with Lucy. If that clears me of any guilt or whatever, like, I don't know, but certainly at no point ever was I trying to be romantic with Lucy. So we talked, and then the party went on. And then I guess me and Lucy really hit it off because she talked to the siblings about hanging out further after the party, and I got invited to that. So we went to the siblings' house, which is a fucking big apartment. Like, it is humongous. And it is up, like, on the top floor, has a balcony. It is wild. I've never seen such a fancy place that wasn't like an actual outright mansion. Anyway, we went there. I've been there a few times at this point, hanging out with the siblings. The male figure in the siblingship had disappeared somewhere, I don't remember. But then, so me, Lucy, and Stephanie were all hanging out in Stephanie's room. And we were having a good time. We stayed up really late talking. Lucy fell asleep on a guest bed, and me and Stephanie stayed up watching some weird show, like Love Island or something, on her bed. It was a really cute night. I know, like a lot of small details that don't really add to the greater thing I'm trying to say here, but like it was a really like fun night. During that night, Lucy is extremely picky with who she invites to do things. And she invited me to come to her birthday the following weekend, which was incredible because at the time I was honored and flattered and excited to, because the three of us got along super well. And like, I've never been such strong friends with someone as fast as I became friends with Lucy. And through that super strengthened my relationship with Stephanie and her brother. Anyway, I accepted that for her birthday, she wanted to go to Las Vegas. For like context, at the time I was living in Utah. So going to Las Vegas was like, it would take like a day-ish to drive there. Not like a full day, but like long enough of the day that like when you got there, like it was, like time to go down. Anyway, so Stephanie, Lucy, and one other girl, married, all grew up together, like childhood, like elementary school friends and stuff. And apparently they'd all grown up going to Las Vegas like pretty often. Like that was a normal thing for them. For me, I've been through Las Vegas and like walked in it like once for like an hour. So it was very new to me, and I was very excited. I was excited mostly just to be with new friends and to feel like I belonged with like people and had a friend group. I've always been thankful for the friends I have, and I in no way devalue them, but at the time I wasn't talking with one of my friends, and at least not like a lot. I think we were just starting to talk again. And because of my super reinforced friendship with Stephanie, my friend who was like had the birthday was getting jealous, and so me and him kind of didn't talk as much. Anyway, there was a lot of drama, and I'm responsible for a lot of it for sure. But anyway, we went to Las Vegas, and we drove down. I just called in sick that weekend and was like, hey, I can't work, sorry, like whatever, because it was way too late to get to call it off, so I like work off, so I just called in sick, and we did. And that trip to Las Vegas is one of the best memories I've ever had. Like, it's a Patronus memory. It is one of the times, like one of the happiest times of my entire life. I was like for real a Patronus memory. Like I could summon fucking like otters, ghost otters to chase evil things. Like it's such a happy memory. I cannot like undervalue or understate how like it is. Understate, not undervalue. I can't overvalue, honestly. Like it is it's such a good memory. And that just kicked off a friendship with me and Lucy. Me and her did every like free moment was a moment like together. We would drive like we'd take drives, we'd stay up to like 5. She and my roommate, who's like my childhood best friend, we all 3 of us had like made a new friend group. We'd hang out all the time. They got along. It was incredible. That was in like September, and that lasted up until like April, I think. And we were riding high. Like every moment was spent together. That we weren't like obligated to do something else. We did so much. I slept on her couch at her apartment a few times because we were just hanging out so late. She'd sleep over at the time I was living with my parents, so she'd sleep over at my parents' house sometimes when the 3 of us went to hang out. I have endless good memories in those, like 6, September, October, December, November, January, February, March, April. Yeah, like 8 months. Those 8 months were a lifetime. Like I'm so serious about that. I lived a full life in those 8 months. Around this time I met someone else. My ex, my now ex, and she and I dated for 2 years up until kind of recently. And she has honestly kind of a very small part to play in this, but she is a part of it. Also about that, during all of this, and like I said I think at the beginning, since I'd known her, I had had feelings for Stephanie. Like I'd had a crush on her. So under the context of we spent those 8 months just flying high and bright and living the best life possible, one day we were at my friend's house, the house I currently live in now. His sister was hosting a birthday party there because at the time she lived with her parents. And so me, Stephanie, and my roommate, my friend, I don't know what to call him, we'll call him Jeff. No, Cletus, we'll call him Cletus. Me, Lucy, and Cletus were all like preparing the house for the party. Me and Lucy went upstairs in the loft that we have to get that ready, I don't know. And we ended up just kind of chilling and talking for a bit. And she rushed, as I recall, I might be wrong about this, as I recall, she rushed off like very swiftly and like in kind of a weird way. And I told Cletus, and Cletus was kind of like, I don't know. And I know we're guys, I guess, I don't know. So I kind of just like brushed off like, yeah, that was kind of weird. And then Lucy texted me and was like, hey, I can drive back. And the city that she lives in is like 30 minutes away. She texted me and was like, hey, I can come pick you up or like whatever, but like we need to talk like now. And so I told Cletus, like, this is kind of weird. I don't know what it's like to do about this. And then Cletus was like, hey man, like I'm staying here with my sister for her birthday. Take my car and just go like meet her. So I took Cletus's car because I've either never owned a car. I've owned 2 cars. I've owned 1 car. My first car I was too young to drive it by myself, and my second car just didn't ever work, and so I never really got to drive it. But that's beside the point. So I took Cletus's car, drove all the 30 minutes. It was dark by now. Met up with Lucy, and Lucy pretty much just told me that she had feelings for me and that we needed to date, and if we didn't date, she didn't think she could be my friend anymore. I know to her, well, we'll get into that, but for me, this was very out of the blue, and I had no idea what to say or think about this. It was insane. And so it was very like, and from really every interaction I had with Lucy from here on out was very like sudden and ultimatum. Like it always ended with, you have to decide right now because I can't bear it anymore, which is a difficult thing to do when someone only interacts with you like that. So I the girl I was talking to lived in Arizona, and that weekend, like days after that night, was flying out for the express purpose of visiting me so that we could get to know each other and all that. She was also, well, there was a lot of stuff going into that, but there was that going on, and at the time, I wasn't sure if I wanted to date her. I felt kind of sure I didn't want to date Lucy because I really liked the situation we had going, and I didn't want to ruin that. And then also, I had strong feelings for Stephanie, which were not resolved in any way because I didn't want them to be resolved. Because of that breakup I'd just gone through a little bit before, like a year before, Stephanie was kind of a safe haven for those feelings because I didn't want them to just die out because I was angry. Anyway, there's a lot going into that. And maybe I'll make a video about that as well. But for right now, what's important is like I was juggling all of that. I know that to Lucy, she came to me and it was for her just a matter of if you like me, we'll date, and if you don't, we won't. But you have to decide right now. And for me, it was much more complicated than that. So I told her like I need to think about it. I think is the general thing that came out of that. And so I drove back to Cletus's house and was like, what the fuck is my life? Shortly thereafter, like within the next day or two, I went and talked to Stephanie, who, as a reminder, was Lucy's best friend, is Lucy's best friend as far as I know now. And she took me up to her room and we talked on her bed, and I was like, hey, so I don't know how I feel about Lucy, but what I do know is I have a lot of feelings for you. I never wanted really to say this because I knew that we would never date, and like I was always fine with that. But since things were getting kind of rushed, I just wanted like to put these feelings to rest for good, so that if something did happen with me and Lucy, like these feelings wouldn't be in the way. And then Stephanie ignored that and said, hey, you should date Lucy, because when me and Mary hang out, we talk about boys, and we have boyfriends, and Lucy has never had that, so we feel really guilty, so you should date Lucy so that she can talk about boys with us. And that, to me, was like spectacularly fucked up. Like, you couldn't, there's not a grapefruit big enough for you to carve a hole in it to make, like, to fuck it bigger. Like, that was so wrong to me. And I was like, well, you definitely didn't just hear anything I just said, or at least you didn't care. And if it made you uncomfortable, like, that's fine, but like, you didn't say that. Like, I don't know, like, you just ignored it and then instead sabotaged your friend and pretty much said I should pity date her. And so I kind of left that conversation being like, wow, okay, now I really don't want to date Lucy, because now I don't want it to seem like I'm pity dating her, which is in my mind now, and I can't say for sure that that wouldn't be the case. So I left that situation like that, and that is, for all intents and purposes, the last time I ever meaningfully talked to Stephanie. And then Lucy, we talked again, and I guess I told her, like, yeah, so this girl from Arizona, like, things are going good and I like her, and like I think like we're gonna probably make it official. And Lucy said, I never want to see that person in my life, so I won't be coming to your birthday, I won't be hanging out with you if she's present, I never want to see her. And to me, that was a very clear, like, okay, you're making me choose between her and you. She's not, so I'm choosing her, because what kind of fucked up friend makes you choose like that? And so that all happened, and then time went by, like a couple years went by, things were getting hard with the girl from Arizona, and I guess that might be something to talk about some other time. But in any case, me and Lucy talked, I think, 3 more times over those 2 years. They were all in person. The last time we talked, Lucy said, effectively, these last 2 years have been horrible, knowing that you're out there and we're not dating. I can't believe you've been dragging me on like this. I told Stephanie and her friend, and they like are so angry with you. Like, you're just a horrible person. I was like, wow, alrighty. And then she said, so I can never see or talk to you ever again for my own like well-being. Like, we can't be friends anymore. And that was weird because we hadn't I thought had really been friends. So she left, and then she asked me if I had anything to say, and there was some pressure there because I didn't know what to say to that. I needed time to think, but if I took time to think, I wouldn't ever be able to talk to her again because she just said she never wanted to talk to me again. So I just pretty much said, if this is what you think is best for you, then I support it, and I want you to be happy. And she got angry at that and then left. So that was that. Anyway, all of that brings me to my current point of this video. I was at work, and Lucy was obsessed with Bo Burnham, which also makes me feel a little uncomfortable. I don't think I look like Bo Burnham, but I have kind of a dark sense of humor, and I'm very tall and somewhat blonde. And it makes me really uncomfortable thinking that the reason she was so obsessed with me was because I have a striking resemblance to Bo Burnham. Like, I cannot exaggerate how much she had his specials memorized word by word. She hosts what she claims to be is one of the biggest Bo Burnham fan sites ever. She has seen his specials. She live. She found him at Sundance and like approached him. Like, she has a tattoo of him, of a couple of his things on her. Like, she's so obsessed with Bo Burnham, which is cool. But when you realize that maybe a big part of the reason she was attracted to me is because of that, things get kind of weird. Anyway, that's not the point. I guess, so to speak to the point of this, I think when people think about loss, they think about breakups and they think about people dying. Those are both significant, and probably what I'll say applies to them too. But actually with my ex, something that she had struggled with and might still is she also lost a friend group in a really fucked up way. Like, it's so bad. Anyway, I don't think people lose friends. Sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's not. But I think I would like just to put forward some thoughts now that who knows. I'm sitting in the hallway from my room right now recording this with an extended mic cord. So it's probably about like 20 minutes, 30, I don't know. The point is, when you feel like you find somewhere you belong to, for me, it was that friend group. Like I said, I love and value my other friends and my family, but at that time, for those 8 months, I felt so at home and like I was living my life the way it was meant to be lived. We were taking spontaneous trips, like to other states, sleeping in the middle of the desert, getting attacked by mice, staying up, driving, doing adventures, saving. Like, we did so much, and my life was being lived exactly how I would want it to be lived. If I was in that situation, if I had people around me that like would do it with me and would promote that lifestyle. It was an incredible 8 months. And I think the lesson that I learned from that is that lifestyle I don't think is sustainable. Like, it's fun, but if you do it a lot, I don't know how long it will last, which is a smaller point. 2, like, I have lost so much sleep and have endured, like, I've cried, I've endured so much. Like their apartment complex that they lived in is just down the street from the bus stop I got off from work, and so I listened to some songs, like some Bo Burnham songs that just came up, and while I was walking to the bus stop after work, and I saw the apartment, and like it was overwhelming, just grief. And it's been like that for years, ever since Lucy gave me the ultimatum. And and I know for a fact that people have gone through this. Like, probably it happens a lot with people in high school. I lost my friend group in high school too after we graduated, but that was honestly kind of for the best. But I know, another example, like me and my friend that I grew up with, that I'm living with, we had another friend with us that just dropped us for no reason out of nowhere. Like, we don't know why. He did never talk to us about it. He just dropped us, and me and him still deal with that sometimes. Like, there are times where it's like very palatable and like noticeable how palatable is the wrong word. It's very noticeable. Like, his absence is like there, and like we notice it. And like, it's the same feeling. Like, if someone like passes away, or like if someone breaks up with you, like, you notice that heartache of like their absence. Like, you'll be doing something and you'll think, wow, this would be so much better if this other person or persons were here, or I wouldn't be doing this right now if I was with these people. I'd be doing something else. And that's hard to deal with. It sucks so much. It's not easy, but what I think has helped me a lot, and what I would encourage anybody else who was in a friend group or had a friend and you got dropped, or something stupid happened that never should have happened, or should have been dealt with better but it wasn't, and now you find yourself alone, or at least without that amazing part of your life. It's good to value those things and to let yourself enjoy that and to grow and to be spontaneous or whatever. But like, don't, I guess, like, to boil it down to just one thing, like, don't lose track of the other good things. Like, yes, it hurts, and it sucked so long, so hard to not be with that group and knowing that they're going out on trips and doing stuff and I'm not with them anymore. On the other hand, though, I have spent countless nights staying up till 5 or 6 a.m. playing games with my friend, and that is awesome. Or like going on a drive with Lucy and seeing something and noting on it, driving down that same road now. Like, it hurts that she's not there to share it with, or I can't text her and be like, oh, no way. But that thing, like that genre of thing, like, it's the reason why we brought it up was because we thought it was cool, and I still think it's cool, and Lucy doesn't need to be a part of that. It sucks that Lucy went behind my back and talked to Stephanie and the other ones and said how horrible I was, how I was leading her on this whole time and being cruel to her, and now they're angry at me, and it sucks that I never got the chance to speak for myself or to say something. I guess I could text them now, but like, to what end? Like, we're never going to see each other again. But we still had good times, and I still value those times, and because of those times, I know a lot about myself. I know a lot of stuff that I like and don't like. I know a lot more about people. I know to be more cautious around people, for one thing, that, seem to like me really hard out of nowhere. I also know, enjoy the moment while it's there. We we burned bright and short, and that is a lesson that sucks, but I know it now. And if something like that, I think that was a once in a lifetime thing, to be honest, but if that ever happens again, I know now. Like, don't rush this, don't try to preserve it, just while it's here, enjoy it. And I think that is a lesson that can be applied to many things, whether it's a partner, and I'm not saying every time you date someone you'll break up. Like, I mean, these days, honestly, even if you get married, like, that's not any kind of a guarantee that you're staying together, but that's a separate thing. Like, whether it's a friend, a partner, a family, just, like, it is so valuable to be present for what is happening and to enjoy it. And there's no need to be afraid of it ending. Everything ends. Good things come again. Like, the most valuable thing you can possibly do is to just be present and value what's happening and who you're with and what you're doing. I am so glad that I did. I have a few memories that I have with them where I was truly just there, like the Las Vegas trip, going to Sedona, Arizona, just like going to Park City in Utah. Like, it's so like important and good that you're able to do that, and I'm so grateful that I have a few precious memories where I did that. They hurt to think about, but also, no matter what happens, if Lucy turns out to be just like a serial killer and Stephanie like blows up a continent with a nuke or whatever, like those things will always be precious to me, always. And no matter how they see me now and what mean or horrible things they've done, whatever, like I am begging you. I know I'm not old. I'm in my mid-20s. I'm not old by any means, but I feel like these things are more likely to happen in that sweet spot when you graduate like 18 to like 23 is like when things like that will happen. At least like as far as like the spontaneous like random trips, super like active friend group stuff will go. Because as you get older, you get bogged down with responsibilities and it's really hard to leave like that. So like if you're in that age group, like I am begging you on my hands and knees, please just value that time, be present for it, enjoy it. Please, it is so important. Those are memories that you will carry with you for the rest of your life, that you will learn from, that you will use to help identify other people and like their patterns, or like patterns in yourself. It'll help you judge situations. It'll just give you something happy to think about when the world is overbearingly horrible and sad. So I think that does it. I hope this comes out well. Yeah. Thank you all for watching and listening. I hope I was able to, in some way, spread hope or knowledge or comfort to anyone struggling. This is a topic I wanted to wait and talk about maybe when I had a larger audience, because I think it's really important, and I really want to, like, out of all the things I have to say about anything, this is probably one of the more important things to me that I wanted to talk about. But who knows, maybe I'll talk about it again in the future sometime, but whoever hears it, I hope you find value in it. Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you again all for watching. It really means a lot. We're at 189 viewers as of me recording this. We're so close to 200 views on the channel. That is so insane. I know it's not a lot. It's not even subscribers, but to me that's just bonkers. That almost 200 views, like almost 6 hours worth of people's like cumulative time have been spent on me. And that is such, I really hope it's been worth it, and I hope people have learned and felt comforted or felt seen or whatever. So anyway, I appreciate everybody. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.